Hi everyone, so we have Judy and Anke already joining. We're just going to give everyone another 10 minutes to get on. Welcome. Please feel free to engage in the chat and make sure when you're chatting, you click that your chat is going to all attendees. Welcome everyone. We're just waiting for a few more attendees to get in the room. Welcome, Mr. Stuart Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
Can
Nice
hear
to
you
be here.
perfectly, and the video is perfectly clear. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're just giving a couple of the entrepreneurs and the attendees a couple more minutes to join. We're beginning shortly. Please, everyone, feel free to engage in the chat. Let us know where you're from, what your business is doing, what the weather's doing, if you like, what you're excited about. And we're all really looking forward to this session. We'll be kicking off in the next couple of minutes. Welcome, everyone. 12:30 on the dot start. We're going to give everyone one more minute to join. I see there's a few entrepreneurs still coming in. We are very excited about today's session. Welcome to our esteemed guests from Investec, our very long-term partners who have been in this with us since the very beginning. Welcome, Mr. Sipahani Manchidi, head of CSI at Investec, and Zakisa Mbaza, who we're going to be hearing a little bit from in just a little bit. We're just going to give everyone a couple more minutes to get into the room, and then we're going to kick off. As I mentioned in the chat, we are really excited about this session. Please feel free to introduce yourself into the chat. Let us know what your business is doing, where you're from, and feel free to chat to your peers in the chat. It's going to be a very exciting and engaging session. And we can't wait to hear the results. We're very excited. Please make sure when you send a chat that you have selected your chat to go to everyone, not just hosts and panelists, so we all get to see what you're saying in the chat. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce myself briefly to you and let us know why we are all here today. Thanks again to everyone for joining us. We would like to make sure that the session is as fun and as engaging as possible. So as I mentioned to everyone who was online a few minutes ago, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know where you're from, what your business is doing, and any other exciting news you want to share with us. I'd like to take this moment to welcome all of our prestigious entrepreneurs. To get to this point in the program is an achievement in itself, and we are so excited to welcome you into the Startup School alumni family. We would also like to extend a big warm welcome to our partners at Investec, who are the founding partners of Startup School and have been on this journey with us from the very beginning. The Honorable Mr. Setlokgani Menchidi, and the Honorable Mr. Sikisa Mbaza, as well as one of our amazing coaches, Simon Stellenboom, who's with you in the chat and with us here today. We all know how much you love the coaches and how much of a role they play in what they do at Startup School and what they do for you guys as entrepreneurs. So I'm going to take this moment to give Simon and the team of coaches a big round of applause. Thank you, Simon and the team. Startup School would not be where it is today without you guys, and neither would our entrepreneurs. As we go along, please feel free, like I said, to engage in the chat. This is a celebratory session, so let's celebrate everyone's success in completing the program, as well as those who have made it to the shortlisting of the prize funding competition. I would like to take a moment to reflect on what a special milestone this is for you as entrepreneurs and us at Startup School. We've been through this process for nearly a decade now, and this is every single time we run it, it gets a little bit better each time. The entrepreneurs improve, and the business we're getting to see in the pictures improve greatly. So we deeply appreciate the entrepreneurs that participate in this program and how much we get to learn about what we need to do to create more hard job creative entrepreneurs and to create more economic inclusion in our beautiful country. So in case you don't know, my name is Christopher Hoskin. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Startup School. Drew Cohen and myself started the Startup School in 2017, and we have been lucky enough to have Investec as our founding partner and our long-term partner in the Startup School organization. We are here today to not only announce, and I know we're all here to hear who the winners of the prize funding are, and we are equally excited about that. But we're also here today to celebrate entrepreneurship in this country and to celebrate how far we've all come in this process. Just completing the program in itself and showing up every day, trying to achieve your goals in the program, and then put all of that learning into practice into your business every day is a massive achievement in itself. So I'm going to give all of you another round of applause and say congratulations for getting to this stage, and thank you for joining us on this journey. We will be having a few of our esteemed stakeholders sharing some knowledge and some information with you in the session before we get to the announcement. And we will then, I promise, get to the announcement, which is one of the main reasons we're all here today. But we also see this as a big moment for us at Startup School and for you as entrepreneurs, because it has a dual purpose, not just to deploy capital and announce who's winning the prize funding and grants in the program, but also to mark this as a graduation for all of you that completed the program, because we believe we have one of the best entrepreneurial development programs out there. And I don't say that lightly, because we work really hard on making improvements every single day to ensure that it is the best performing program for entrepreneurs, and to ensure that we make all of our entrepreneurs' lives a little bit easier and help them put into practice really practical lessons and make sure that their businesses are being pushed forward and progressed into the future. I cannot contain my excitement, because we managed to see some really amazing pictures and see some really smart entrepreneurs who are really dedicated to their craft and being extremely innovative in their businesses. So I've already acknowledged our special guests, but in case you were attended a few minutes late, I would just like to acknowledge and send a big thank you out to our partners at Investec, Mr. Setlafani Manchidi, who is the head of CSI at Investec, and if not the most experienced, probably one of the most experienced, but I think the most experienced CSI practitioner on the continent. And I don't say that lightly. I'm hoping we're going to maybe hear and have a little secret surprise hello from Set later. But if not, we've got the very capable Mr. Zakisa Mbaza, who heads up the entrepreneurship portfolio at Investec. And without Investec, this would not be possible. We would not be able to provide as many groceries as we do into the program, and we most certainly wouldn't be sitting here today being able to award large amounts of capital into much needed businesses, which we are very, very thankful for and very excited to do. So from Startup School, I've introduced myself, Christopher Hoskin. We have the esteemed Mr. Stuart Cohen, who is the co-founder of Startup School with myself, but way more impressively, one of the co-founders of the Mr. Price Group. And I think we all as South Africans know who Mr. Price is. So I'm not going to take any more time of yours because we have a way more experienced and successful entrepreneur to hand over. So without further ado, I'd love to hand over to Mr. Stuart Cohen. Thank you, Stuart, for giving your time to this project and for giving us your time today. Over to you.
Thanks, Chris, and good day, everyone, and welcome to the prize giving. It's always an exciting time, and I think each group gets better and better, and it becomes more and more difficult for us to decide who's going to win this big prize. And it's an agony because there are so many good applicants. But first of all, I want to congratulate you all on two things. First of all, for doing the Startup School course. That was a decision. And the second choice you made was to be an entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurship is not for the faint-hearted. It's really tough. And if every time somebody starts a business and I talk to them and I say, do you know how tough it's going to be? And they say, yes, I've thought about how tough it's going to be. And, until it was going to be 100 times tougher than that. So today I want to tell you my own little story briefly so you can see how some of the principles of entrepreneurship have applied in my own life, and maybe they may reflect on some of the things you're planning to do. So the country needs entrepreneurs. I mean, they're going to change the world, and we need many, many more entrepreneurs because they're the ones who create the jobs, not the big companies. And so far, we put 1,000 people through this program. We need to put many thousands more, and we will. So, as I said, it's tough, and you've got to be really patient. So my own journey, my father was a store manager at Oka Bazaars, and he stayed with that company most of his life. He did say that he had opportunities to go into his own business. Once or twice, people approached him. He regrets that he never took those opportunities, but he said he was going to get this great pension at the end of his time with the company. And in actual fact, at the end, the pension, he couldn't even live on the pension. And I said to myself, well, you've got to have more than a salary. You've got to have a share in a business. And then so I studied. I made sure that I studied, and that's what you guys are doing. You're studying at the Startup School. You're learning about business. It's really important that you understand how an income statement works, how a balance sheet works. Those are key principles, and particularly how your cash flow will work. Without cash flow and planning, you're not going to make it. So those are really important principles, and we try to put as much as we can into a 3-month program so you get like a kind of mini MBA and get you on your way. But you'll need to study more. You never stop studying if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to be in business. So I encourage you to continue to read lots of books about successful entrepreneurs. That's going to help and inspire you. So back to my father. So I studied business, and I watched all the time things that were going on. I was interested in retail. I grew up in retail in the shop after school. And so I made a special point of studying retailing, looking for the next big thing in retail. and that's what I did. But I didn't have any money. I couldn't start a business. I did try. I worked for other retail companies, and you can learn a lot from other retail companies or other companies that you work for. You can make mistakes with other people's money, and it's better than making mistakes with your own. So I encourage you all to learn to make your apprenticeship and understand the industry that you're going to particularly well. You need to be really good at what you do in your particular field before you go on your own. So don't try and venture out until you have all the skills in place. So I did a few side hustles. I sold jewelry on email, and I sold kitchen gadgets on email. But you can't really build a business part-time. You have to be fully involved. So it was only, I think, in 1982, at the age of, and you're going to give my age away here, at the age of 30, that I started my own business, and with a partner, we started an agency, not an agency, a consultancy for small retailers, group they're buying together, and we took a fee for that, a consulting fee. So that was 3 years, and whatever money I'd saved disappeared. So 3 years, it was a disaster business. But when you are in a business on your own, starting a business, the one thing you have is the risk of success or the risk of failure. If you stay working for someone else, there's little chance of failure and little chance of upside. So it does expose you to the risk of doing something special. So after 3 years of failure, we had a tiny window of opportunity because we knew what was going on in retail. We saw a thing called factory shops starting up in America, and we thought that was the next big thing in South Africa. And when one of our clients, a consulting client, said to us, "I'd like to open a factory shop," we said to him, "Fine, we'll open a factory shop for you." We knew exactly how to do it, and we did it for him for nothing, but we took a small percentage we franchised it, took a small percentage of sales. Funny enough, I was reading the other day that the Colonel Sanders, who started Kentucky, he went around to restaurants and he sold his recipe for the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he took a small percentage of the sales of that chicken in sold it to 100 stores. That's how he started the business. So we started also, had no money, started as a franchise, and that's how Mr. Price started. And then we managed to find ways to buy out the franchises and grow the business. So I think to the other point I wanted to make, and applying principles that came through your course, you have to look for a niche. You don't want to copy, you've got to differentiate. Remember that in your marketing program. You've got to find a differentiated business model. Yes, it can be in the same industry, but you have to niche it. You have to differentiate it from the competitors in a compelling way. So what we did was we looked at fashionable clothing. It was really expensive at the time. People could only buy it on credit. We said there has to be a way you can sell fashionable clothing cheaper. It's not just cheap clothing, but fashionable clothing cheaper. That was the model. So we said that was the business model, fashionable clothing cheaper. It was very, as I say, expensive at that time. And then we molded the business model into something quite narrow. So we said we look for a segment, about segmentation, you've read about that. So we took a segment, we said we're going to focus on younger people, and we're going to sell fashionable casual clothing. As you can see, we broke it down into a tight segment. Nobody was doing that at the time. Everybody's copying us now, but that's okay. It's a great compliment to be copied. So we had the segment, young casual clothing. And then we differentiated, whereas everybody was selling on credit, we did cash only. We kept our costs really low. We had low rentals, low fixtures. We could fixture in the old days a whole store for about 28,000 Rand, believe that or not. That's how we opened a store. We worked on low margin. We didn't have sales. All the other stores have high margins, and then they drop this for sales. If something doesn't sell, we marked it down, and customers love that. So we did very little advertising. Everything that the other people were doing, we kind of did the opposite, and the customers loved it. So that's a brief, very short story of 40 years of hard work. But the point I wanted to make is it's tough. It's got to find a niche. You've got to differentiate yourself from the competitors, and then it gets a lot easier. And you've got to be quite expertise. You've got to be really good at what you're doing. You've got to be better than most people in your sector. So that I hope that helps you in your careers in some way. So the class that we've had now is just filled with talent, overflowing with talent. It's amazing to see how much talent there is out there in our country. It's inspiring. So and the competition is kind of irrelevant to your careers. If you're going to make it as an entrepreneur, this is just a stepping stone. It's part of your studies. You're going to learn more. You're going to study more. But not everybody can win the competition. Businesses are at a different stage. Some are still at ideation stage. And we have various criteria, but we like businesses to be on the road a little bit, having some success story, having some prototypes out there that are moving, having customers. So if you're not winning the prize today, don't be disillusioned. I mean, I've just told you the story. From failure comes success. Failure is part of your learning. And I'm not saying that you guys are failing, but you maybe won't win the prize today. Disregard that entirely. So I encourage you to follow your dreams as entrepreneurs. Welcome to the tough school of entrepreneurs. I know you're going to make great successes of your business. You've got to be really patient, and you've got to bootstrap and work really hard. But I'm confident from the people I've met on this program, we're going to see some stupendous success stories. As I always say to these sessions, please, when you are rich and famous, please remember the startup school and where you came from, and let us know how you're doing. We'd love to see you all being very successful. So God bless you all. Follow your dreams and make great successes of your lives and your careers. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stuart. Really appreciate your words of wisdom and you spending the time with us today. I was about to say one of our entrepreneurs did such a good summary already in the chat of your talk, and then I see it's one of our wonderful coaches, Simon. So thank you, Simon. I think we can all see why the entrepreneurs have such a impactful time that they spend with our coaches, Simon and Tanya. So we really appreciate our coaches. And again, I'm taking another moment to extend all of our deep gratitude for how much time the coaches invest into our entrepreneurs and helping them achieve their goals. So that was one of our very esteemed speakers joining us today. I am not going to take up too much time. I'm going to, without further ado, introduce our next speaker, Mr. Zakisa Mbaza, who is going to have two jobs on his hand. One of the jobs is a very exciting announcement, which we are all on the edge of our seats for. And the other job is just to say a few words about Investix involvement and give us some key wisdom and some other interesting things that he would love to share with us. So over to you, Zakisa.
Thank you so much, Chris. And thanks to you, Stuart, for wonderful business lessons there that you have shared with our entrepreneurs. As social development practitioners, we also get to learn from some of these principles, because some of these principles do not only apply on the entrepreneurship journey, but we always look to apply some of these entrepreneurship principles in the betterment of the programs that we are running as institutions on our part. Good afternoon to also entrepreneurs who've joined us this afternoon. I think it's quite important that we have you in the room. And I think today, most importantly, we honor both you as a participant through your initiative, your entrepreneurship journey that you have started. the commitment that you have displayed through being part of the program. We often realize that 3 months can be quite a very long time and challenging to commit, for entrepreneurs, especially when they have to compete in terms of the time that they have to apply on the businesses, but also importantly on the growth that you have realized through the program intervention. But not only that, but that you are yet to realize post the program intervention that you would have experienced. But also, most importantly, those who are going to receive or going to be considered to be the awardees of the pitching competition that we held a week or so ago. I think the entrepreneurial path is rarely straightforward, right? Some of you may have realized that it requires resilience, it requires adaptability, and the purpose must prevail at every turn of your entrepreneurship journey. So each participant has added value by turning your ideas into results. And one thing that we can never downplay is the ability to see ideas, in fact, to see the challenges as opportunity for you to turn into profitable ideas after being implemented. The most fundamental thing here is that you are able to identify the opportunities through the challenges that you yourself are experiencing within your communities, or the challenges by observing where we are as communities and as a country, and you decide to take it upon yourself to say, this is a challenge I want to take on. This is an opportunity I want to turn into a profitable opportunity so that I can change my circumstances at home as an entrepreneur, but to also make a significant contribution in the society, right? As we celebrate today, let us remember that entrepreneurship is about solving real problems. It's not just about profits. And that the vision you uphold for your enterprise is the compass that is always going to guide you, that will keep you grounded when the path ahead is not clear. The vision is your compass, right? And it keeps you grounded when the path is not clear. Some of us have gotten into this journey, Sbusiso. Some of us have gotten into this journey, Sbongile and Palisa, not knowing or not having a clear view what the path would look like. But some of us decided to commit onto a journey that we don't know where we're going to end up, but we decided to take on the first step. Life would never be as exciting if we saw what the journey ahead would be like. What keeps life exciting is that we are here now, and we understand that what I can only see is one step ahead. And the more steps I take, the more path or is becoming much more clearer. So we are here today because you have decided to take a step, because you have decided to be on this journey of entrepreneurship, and that you have decided to take that risk to say, I am willing, in the midst of everyone else around you complaining about joblessness, complaining about unemployability and unemployment, complaining about the government, you decided to take matters to your own hands. So therefore, I'm here to congratulate you. I'm here to congratulate you for your dedication. I'm here to congratulate you for your creativity that you have shown. We have an opportunity, or we have had an opportunity and sat down and listened to the pitches. It was overwhelming. I sat there and I was convinced that South Africa is not poor of creative ideas. South Africa is not full of lazy young people. Here we are with South Africa's entrepreneurs who are yearning for opportunities that would enable them to further their lives, to flourish, and to meaningfully contribute in our community and for the betterment of our country. We've had an opportunity to be pitched by Eleanor. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pitch, where they are doing skincare products using camel milk. I mean, it's unheard of. It's unheard of in the context of South Africa. But you also had to sit there and realize that, wait a second, do we even have camels in South Africa? But people are using the resources, the scarce resources that they have, to take bold action and create for themselves meaningful opportunities that are not only going to be meaningful, but also are going to be profitable. We see you. We see you, Gisela. We see you, Andile. We see you, Debbie. We see you, Bulelwa. That the efforts that you are taking on a day-to-day basis, that it's not just about you. It's not just about where you are. South Africa, as it is today, the biggest employer in South Africa are small and medium enterprises. You are part of that. Therefore, as you grow, as your businesses inevitably grow, you know that you are going to employ one person. You are going to employ 2 people. You are going to employ 10 more people to join your enterprise. I think my conversation this afternoon is embedded on 3 or 4 things, and then we can get into announcement. 1, entrepreneurship, you have to have a sense of purpose and a sense of vision. I've alluded to it to say entrepreneurship is about addressing genuine needs. Let your aspirations serve as your guide, even when the journey of entrepreneurship gives you a clap or 2 or even 3 claps. What holds you down as an anchor is the vision that you have crafted for yourself and for your institution. But secondly, resilience and perseverance. The maintenance of a steadfast or being steadfast in the face of obstacles, knowing that each challenge you faced is an opportunity for growth. That outlook in life in general, let alone entrepreneurship, is quite important, because we know inevitably, especially on your entrepreneurship journey, inevitably you are going to face obstacles. How you overcome obstacles is very important. How you remain resilient will be fundamental in your journey. It would be foolish of us to sit here and think that the successful entrepreneurs that we see today and that we admire, their path to success was never encountered with obstacles. It would be foolish of us. We always need to understand that there will be obstacles. Therefore, our ability to overcome will always be important. Our ability to overcome will always need to take priority. Resilience is the ability to bounce back in the face of adversity that you are going to experience, my good friends. Thirdly, learning and adaptability. It's quite fundamental. Part of your learning journey or the startup school experience has been part of your learning journey. You need to learn. You need to pitch to us. And we'll need to give you feedback. And that you will continue reshaping and shaping and reshaping your business to a point where you are comfortable in making the profits that you will be making as a business. Sometimes you would have started the business having this sense of offering today. But when you are successful, you don't recognize the enterprise that you started off with. Your ability to constantly shape and reshape your business and refine your offering to the clients that you, in fact, to even an extent that you are refining the target market or your audience that you have for your institution is fundamental and is important. Adaptability will always have to be your friend, especially in the wake of competition. I think, lastly, we need to think about impact and legacy. We need to strive to leave behind a positive mark, building ventures that enrich lives and enrich communities. The vision that you are bearing today for your business is not only about your business. The vision you have today is not only about your business, but when your business succeeds, it will begin to impact people's lives. It will not only be through the product offering that you have, but it will also be through the suppliers that you are working with, through the customers that you have, also through the staff that you employ in your business. What kind of legacy that you're wanting to leave for or the community that you serve through the enterprise that you are running. Judy, I don't know how the business came to you, but I know that when you succeed, your business is going to impact much more lives. It's going to impact much more lives. Prudence, you have personal reasons why you have started your business. But when your business succeeds, it will no longer be for personal reasons. At some point, it will be about impacting lives. One of the things that Kumesh Moodley, the CEO of Investec South Africa, once said was that it's important to merge profit and purpose. And those things will always have to go together. It's not only about profitability. It's about the impact that we're wanting to ensure that we are living in the world. Some of us are building businesses so that we can sell Some of us are building businesses that are going to be multi-generational. Some of us are starting out, right? And maybe the businesses that we have started off with are not the businesses that are going to take us there. And maybe 3-4 years from now, you are going to decide that there's another business that you need to change into, that is going to always ensure that you are at a point, where you are leaving lasting legacy for yourselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to leave here knowing that entrepreneurship is a path wherein purpose and vision is quite important as an anchor, especially when times feel quite uncertain on your journey. That resilience and impact will need to be your friend. You need to be able to bounce back in the face of adversity and in the face of obstacles. Challenges are inevitable. What will always have to be your friend is resilience and perseverance, learning and adaptability. Your journey requires constant learning, requires that you're malleable, requires that you are adapting and that you're agile enough that if the market requires that you are much more curious, then you do. You need to embrace feedback from your clients and the customers, that you are able to constantly improve on your product offering. And lastly, impact and legacy. Because that which we have started, my friends, is not only about you. If you thought that the business you have established today is about you, then unfortunately, business requires that there is something much more bigger than us that we are always looking toward. I hope, as I get into the announcement of the winners, and I'm sure you are sitting there on your chairs thinking to yourself, when is he going to announce the winners for the day? My friends, the wait is over. The wait is over. Therefore, I need you to understand that it's quite fundamental to us to say at the end of each cohort, we put up a prize money up to 100,000 rands. And it's always dependent on the cohort and the pitches that we receive, that we see how the funds are split. Ladies and gentlemen, the contenders that were shortlisted and presented to us, and I will list them in no particular order. The business names would be African Camel Milk Skincare. Can we give them a round of applause, please, for being shortlisted? And another shortlisted company that presented to us was Shop Ease, run by Wade. Another shortlisted company that we had for us that presented to us is Bekezela Tiane Pty Ltd. Another company that presented to us is Operatory Sanctuary and Reclaim GBVF. Another company that presented to us was MLPC Projects. And last but not least, the company that presented to us is Just Vendors Enterprise, Pty Ltd. And can we congratulate them for being shortlisted? Can we please see digital hands? Can we clap for them for being shortlisted? I congratulate you that you had submitted and subjected yourselves to pitching to us in under excruciating circumstances. We're super proud of you, as much as we're super proud of everyone who today is being celebrated as having completed the course. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce a third place with a prize of 10,000 rands. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Obatari Sanctuary and Reclaim GBVF, run by Tanya Prinsloo. Congratulations to our winner of 10,000 rands, Tanya Prinsloo of Obatari Sanctuary and Reclaim GBVF. And may we please give them a round of applause. May we please give them a round of applause. So inspiring. What was important is an understanding that though you have presented a social enterprise, we recognize the social impact that you have through your institution. Congratulations, 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 Tanya. Then in the same second place, and I must announce, ladies and gentlemen, that for the second place, we have two businesses that are at joint second place. And each of these businesses are walking away for themselves with 20,000 rands each business. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first, second place, I am proud to announce to you that we have Afriqueen Camel Milk Skincare. Can we give them a round of applause? Eleanor, congratulations. Such a compelling presentation and such a compelling business offering. Afriqueen Camel Milk, thank you so much. You are walking away for yourself with 20,000 rands. So congratulations. Congratulations, Eleanor. We are super, super proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I did mention that we have two second place businesses, and I did say that these two businesses, each of them, are walking away with a prize of 20,000 rands. For the second place business, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and help me congratulate Positano Lifestyle Boutique, run by Deborah Combrink. Congratulations, Deborah of Positano, a lifestyle boutique. We are super, super proud of you. And thank you. Thank you so much for the work that you do. And we are always, 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 always proud of the work that you guys are doing. And this is your moment. You have presented to us and you have answered to us satisfactorily. And that's why you are where you are today, and that we're celebrating you as a winner of the second prize, walking away with 20,000 rands. Ladies and gentlemen, we sat down as the panel of judges. We sat down and we articulated, given the toughness of the competition, this was not an easy walk away, but we had to reward a business that has shown not only runs on the board, but also are thinking into the future and where we are going as a country and as the world. And one of the things that we were fundamentally struck by was a sense of innovation of this entrepreneur as well as their product offering. Ladies and gentlemen, the first prize, I am proud to present to you that this institution is walking away with a whopping 60,000 rands. And ladies and gentlemen, please may I have drum rolls. May I see drum rolls on the chat box. It gives me great pleasure to reward and to announce to you the business that is at first prize for us today. We are proud and are celebrating you, MLPC Projects, run by Sibongile Sitole. That is our #1 prize winner for this cohort. We are very proud of you, Sibongile, and the business that you've articulated and that you have put together. We are proud of your journey as MLPC Projects, walking away with a whopping 60,000 rands. We could never have been so proud of you and where you are as a business. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Congratulations to everyone who's on this call. Congratulations to everyone who's decided to enroll for this course, who's decided to submit and subject themselves to the process. Stuart alluded to it, and Chris alluded to it, that it doesn't end here. It doesn't end here. Go on into the world. I release you, go into the world and make us proud and make yourselves proud and build institutions to contend with, build profitable businesses. May you grow on your journey. May you become much more successful as individuals as well as enterprises. And may you have nothing but the best on your entrepreneurial journey. And that's it from my end. My name is Zeke Sambaza, and thank you so much for this opportunity, Chris. Thank you, thank you.
Wow, Zakisa, thank you so much. Zakisa, I've got a marathon entry for the Cape Town Marathon on Sunday, and I haven't trained. But after your talk, I think I can do it. I'm motivated. So I'll let you know how it goes. But I'm very hyped up after that. Thank you so much, Zakisa. I'm reading the chats, and I'm so distracted by the chat. So excuse me, because there's so much good things happening there. So I'm going to have to copy and paste it and read it all later. But congratulations to all of our participants of this course, all of our shortlisted candidates, and our top 3 candidates. We greatly appreciate all of your input and dedication to this process. We are just so excited to see where you go with your business. As Akisa reiterated, this is just the start. We all consider you part of our startup school family. We are happy and looking actively for ways to best support you continuously in your journey. So please stay engaged. We have some exciting things coming up. We also have our big annual competition coming up next month. So to those of you that have finished the cohort now, you will be able to apply for the bigger grants next year in November, which we do every single year. So look, keep your eyes peeled and keep engaged in the community. Tanya and Simon will be letting you know what you need to do there. And from myself and the Startup School team, a great thank you to Mr. Stuart Cohen, to Mr. Zaki Sambaza, and to Mr. Sitlachani Menchidi. We would not be able to do this without all of our partners. We would not be able to do this without all of our inspirational and motivated coaches. And most importantly, we would not be able to do this without our entrepreneurs. So thanks to all of you. We're going to keep building together. We're going to make sure you guys get your certificates of completion very soon. So look out for those. And as I mentioned, look out for some exciting announcements of what's going to be happening with Startup School in the future. I am going to go try to do a training run now for Sunday, but as I said, I don't think I need it after Zakisa's speech. Thank you for your time today, Zakisa, and thank you for the wonderful motivation and the powerful messages from yourself and Mr. Shirkari. Thank you all. We're going to leave the chat open for a little bit, so feel free to chat and engage. We have a few networking events coming up and educational webinars, so look out for those. We look forward to engaging with you all in the future, and I wish you a wonderful, restful, and blessed weekend. All the very best. Thank you.